Welcome to Betrayal Affairs. In today's video, we dive into a story that twists the meaning of love, loyalty, and trust in ways that will leave you questioning how well we ever really know the people closest to us. If you've ever believed that marriage guarantees stability, tonight's journey may shake that assumption to its core. Before we begin, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe. It takes only a moment, but it means everything to me. Plus, it ensures you never miss the next upload, and trust me, the stories we explore only get more intense from here. Now, let's step into tonight's story. I'll never forget the first time I noticed it. The look in Brian's eyes when she walked through our front door. We had been married for 10 years, built a life together that, on the surface, looked steady, predictable, safe. And yet, in that one moment, I saw something I'd never seen in him before, a flicker of anticipation, tangled with nervous energy. His pupils widened as though he had been waiting for this exact moment without telling me. And my heart, it skipped in a way I couldn't control. Her name was Lauren. She didn't just step into our home, she carried herself with a kind of confidence that felt both reassuring and threatening. The kind of presence that fills a room without even trying. And the strangest part? Instead of feeling anger or fear, I felt curiosity. Why did Brian react that way? Why was he holding my hand so tightly as though to anchor me, or himself? At the time, I couldn't answer those questions. But as you'll soon discover, the truth had been building for weeks, quietly weaving itself into the fabric of our marriage until there was no ignoring it anymore. It all began one seemingly ordinary Tuesday evening. Brian came home later than usual. His tie hung loose around his neck, his hair slightly disheveled, and though he smiled at me, there was something unsettled about him. I was in the kitchen, chopping vegetables for dinner, when he walked in and placed his briefcase on the counter as if it were heavier than usual, not physically, but emotionally. "Megan," he said softly, and somehow, just the way he spoke my name felt unusual. I froze, knife paused midair. "What's wrong?" He leaned against the counter, searching my eyes. "I've been thinking about us." Those words. They're never simple, are they? They can mean love, hope, renewal. Or they can mean endings, confessions, and heartbreak. My stomach tightened. "Thinking about us how?" I asked carefully. Brian rubbed the back of his neck. 10 years is a long time, isn't it? I laughed nervously. "Are you saying you're bored of me already?" His head shot up. "No. Not bored. Never bored. You mean everything to me, Megan. But I wonder if there are parts of ourselves we've never allowed to surface. Parts that might bring us closer if we dared to face them." The knife clinked as I set it down, giving him my full attention. "You're scaring me a little." "What are you saying exactly?" He hesitated, then whispered, "I've had this thought. A fantasy, really. Something I've wanted to tell you for months, but didn't know how." My chest tightened. "What kind of fantasy?" He took a breath, steady but trembling at the edges. "I want to see you with someone else." The words hit me like a wave of cold water. My brain scrambled to make sense of them. "With someone else? You want me to cheat?" I whispered, horrified. "No," he said quickly. "Not like that. Not behind my back. I mean, with me there. Together. Something we share." I blinked, still lost in his meaning. "With another man?" He shook his head. "No. With a woman." The silence between us grew thick. I stared at him, waiting for a grin, a laugh, some sign this was a joke. But his expression stayed painfully sincere. And the strangest thing happened, while shock raced through me, another feeling crept in too, intrigue. For days, I carried his words with me like an echo that wouldn't fade. While I graded papers in my classroom, while I showered in the mornings, while I lay beside him at night pretending to sleep, his suggestion pulsed at the back of my mind. And though part of me resisted, part of me began to wonder. What would it feel like? Would I even enjoy it? Would Brian see me differently afterward? Would I see myself differently? The unsettling truth was this: curiosity was growing inside me. And once curiosity plants itself in your heart, it doesn't let go easily. 1 week later, we were sitting together on the porch, the evening sun painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. The air between us was heavy with unspoken thoughts until finally, I asked, if we did this, hypothetically, how would it even work? Are you talking about finding someone online? Just picking a stranger? The way his smile spread told me he had already thought about it. Actually, I may know someone. My eyebrows shot up. You've already thought of someone? He nodded slowly. Her name's Lauren. She's a trainer at the gym. Confident, kind, and I think she might be open to it. The betrayal I felt in that instant was sharp. You've already spoken to her about this? No. Not directly. We've just talked. There's an energy between us. But I never mentioned you. I never crossed that line. I just had a feeling. The feeling of betrayal tangled with something else, fear, curiosity, a dangerous temptation. And before I could stop myself, I whispered, fine. Set it up. But if I don't feel comfortable, it ends. He nodded solemnly. Of course. No pressure. Ever. The following Saturday, I stood in front of the mirror, cycling through outfits, battling the storm inside me. Each time I changed clothes, I wondered, what am I doing? Who am I becoming? When the doorbell finally rang, my heart jumped to my throat. Brian went to answer, and I lingered in the bedroom for one last moment of composure before stepping out. And then I saw her. Lauren was striking, tall, athletic, her hair falling in effortless waves around her shoulders. But more than her appearance, it was her presence that unnerved me. She had an aura of self-assured calm, as if she had been here before, as if nothing rattled her. She smiled warmly. Brian has told me so much about you. I forced a smile back. All good things, I hope. Her eyes lingered on mine just long enough to make my chest tighten. Only the best. But he didn't mention how gorgeous you are. Heat rose to my cheeks. Compliments from Brian felt familiar, almost routine. From her, it felt like something else entirely. Dinner was unexpectedly easy. We talked about work, hobbies, little stories from our lives. We laughed. But beneath it all, I felt the tension humming like a low, unrelenting current. I could sense Brian watching me carefully, gauging every word, every smile, every glance. Finally, Lauren set down her glass and looked directly at me. Brian mentioned you might be curious about exploring something new. I swallowed hard, looking at Brian for reassurance. He nodded softly, urging me to speak. I've never done anything like this, I admitted, my voice trembling. Lauren reached out her hand across the table, palm open. Then we go as slow as you want. Or not at all. It's entirely your choice. And it was in that moment I realized, this wasn't just about desire. It was about choice, trust, and the fragile lines that define betrayal. That night changed everything. I won't describe the details, you don't need them, and honestly, they aren't the heart of this story. What matters is what I felt. Fear. Curiosity. Vulnerability. And then, slowly, an unexpected connection. Lauren didn't rush me. She didn't overwhelm me. She guided me gently, as though her only goal was to help me discover parts of myself I had locked away. And all the while, Brian was there. Watching. Silent. His presence was both unsettling and grounding. For the first time in my marriage, I realized how much of myself had remained unexplored, not just with others, but even with him. The morning after, I woke between them. Brian's arm wrapped protectively around me, Lauren's warmth at my back. The sunlight streamed through the curtains, and I realized something terrifying, I didn't regret it. When Brian stirred awake, his eyes searched mine. Do you regret last night? He whispered. I shook my head. No. Do you? He smiled faintly. Not even a little. Lauren's sleepy voice joined in. So, what happens now? I had no answer. Was this a one-time experience? Or the beginning of something deeper? Something more dangerous? I looked at Brian. And in his eyes, I saw the same uncertainty. The same hunger. The same fear. I don't know, I admitted. But I think I want to find out. That was just the beginning. What followed was not a simple happily ever after. Far from it. With every step we took into this new territory, new questions emerged. Could trust survive such uncharted waters? Could love expand to include someone else? Or were we walking straight toward the edge of betrayal disguised as discovery? The weeks that followed tested us in ways I never imagined. There were moments of passion, yes. But also jealousy. Doubt. Insecurities I didn't even know I had began to claw their way to the surface. And every time I thought I had figured out what Brian wanted, I realized he was still figuring it out himself. Was he really doing this for me? Or was I just a character in his fantasy? And what about me? Was I truly curious? Or was I being pulled into something that would eventually tear us apart? The answers, my friends, are complicated. And that's why this story doesn't end neatly tied with a bow. Because sometimes, life doesn't give us closure. Sometimes, it only leaves us with more questions. Have you ever discovered something unexpected about yourself through your partner's suggestion? Something that made you see yourself and them in a completely new light? Let me know in the comments below. I'm always fascinated by how relationships evolve when the truth refuses to stay buried. And if you found yourself hooked by this story of discovery, betrayal, and blurred boundaries, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because trust me, there's so much more to explore together.